Hi there, this is Tiffany Grant. I, of course, play Asuka Langley Soryu, and I will be resisting the strong temptation to karaoke the opening song. Thank you.
And I'm Brian Greenfield, and I played the part of Makoto Hyuga in Neon Genesis Evangelion.
And he really hates that director guy, Matt Greenfield.
Oh, I can't stand him. No, just terrible. Of course, actually, I'm the same person, but we won't go. It's a split personality thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Try living with both of them. So, have we mentioned the three-child, three-tech
I can't remember if we did that or
on
not.
A previous commentary? Oh,
Honestly,
what the heck? What if they haven't listened to that one? Okay, so one of the unique things that happened after the recording of Evangelion, or during, after, whatever, the three children ended up marrying the three nerve techs. Who got married first? Was it
Spike and Kendra?
Spike and Kendra. So Spike Spencer, Shinji Ikari, married Kendra Benham, Maya Ibuki.
And then Amanda Wynn became Amanda Wynn Lee when she married Jason Lee, now Jackson Lee.
That's another story.
SAG regulations.
Yeah.
And
that was, let's see, Shigeru Aoba, and of course, Rei Ayanami, known as Wonder Girl.
Right.
And then we got married.
Yeah. Much later.
Much later.
I resisted as long as I could.
Yeah. And then actually, Spike Spencer once said that it wasn't a coincidence; it was actually in our contracts.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, there's Aoba right now.
Yeah, this was an interesting episode because we actually got to see what these people did when they weren't sitting in the control room reading things. And apparently, Maya goes through a lot of sheets.
Yeah, we don't know why that is.
I mean, it's either that or they're all. It looks like sheets to me. Maybe they're identical uniforms because she has a lot of those.
Yeah, all of their outfits are the same. I mean, you don't really see Maya having a large variety in her wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Fuyutsuki!
Yes. Oh, there was a great outtake that Gil Lundy did while he was doing this episode. He was sitting there reading it, and he was reading actually personals out of the back of the Houston Press.
I wish we still had that.
Yeah. There were things about Fuyutsuki's sexual orientation we really didn't need to know.
Well, isn't it interesting that the only people in this train car are all people that happen to work for Nerve? There's no other people.
Yes, of course. Well, I mean, it's going to Nerve, but the fact that they're all the people we happen to know, yes, it's very convenient.
Yeah, I mean, like the janitors or, the people who wash the Avas or whatever, they're not going on this train at the same time.
The people who wash the Avas. I don't know. It's an interesting concept.
I want someone to keep my Ava Unit 2 clean. Darn it!
I think you go through the drive-through, just kind of crawl through on that thing.
They're really big.
Yeah, it's going to be extra for the hot wax. Of course, you have to be careful when asking for that in Japan, because you'll get something entirely different.
Oh, I probably don't want to know what that is. Actually, I really have fond memories of this episode. This was a lot of fun, and it has some of my very favorite lines in it, which I will alert you to when they happen.
Yeah, this was a rough episode for me because Hyuga had a lot of dialogue in this one that wasn't just, hailing frequencies open, sir, and that sort of thing.
I think that was Uhura. I think you're getting yourself confused with Michelle Nichols.
It's the same character. It's just one's Japanese and wears glasses and one isn't. But, I mean, for most of the episodes, Hyuga and Aoba basically serve that. I mean, Maya Ibuki does have a little bit more background to her. She does a little bit more, but Hyuga and Aoba, until the very end of the show, really exist basically to tell you what's going on off camera.
Oh, it's Kashi. He's a real man.
Yeah, okay. I have to live with this, folks, just so you're wondering. She's not putting this on.
The best.
She's not putting this on for the commentary. She's like this 24 hours a day.
That's true. And I do
The only
love
thing
Kashi.
that's worse is when she's not on the Asuka riff. It's the Hello Kitty riff.
Oh, yes. Well, we could do a commentary about Hello Kitty, but the Ava fans might not appreciate that.
I always felt that combining the two would work.
Loser! Oh, you big wimp. Just suck it up.
And she is referring to the character, not Spike Spencer there.
Oh. Yeah, Spike's okay. But Shinji's a big wimp.
Yeah,
he gets on my nerves.
But this is actually a pretty good episode for him. I think this is a nice episode because the characters actually do interact with each other. It's not just the, I don't like you, you don't like me kind of thing. The whole wandering around in the subterranean chambers, it's like, okay, Asuka's trying to be the boss, and Rey always has the right idea, but they never listen to it.
No, they wouldn't want to.
And meanwhile, these two get to take off all their clothes.
Yeah, now here's something fun. It's like that nightmare of who would you least like to be stuck in an elevator with, so it's kind of like a nightmare for Misato, but...
Yeah, see, all those other guys who are in the background there, behind Ritsuko, they never say anything. They're always just there. About the only time you ever hear them say in this episode...
They're made of plastic. They're not real.
Well, they're actually shown later on hauling a bunch of things around, but manually, making grunting sounds.
They're probably going off to wash my Ava.
Yeah, I'm sure. They've got a lot of little tiny cloths, They just buff that sucker.
Little squeegees.
that in itself is interesting.
Severe. I hear Kim Severe making an announcement.
Yep. Kim
who would later portray Yui Ikari.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about going through this. You could kind of see who was new to the company and was slowly working their ways up because they would be the background voice and all of a sudden they would show up as a character and then we'd have to have someone else doing the background voices. I've always loved the fact that they have these giant signs on the street explaining what everything is. Yeah,
Oh, one of my favorite lines is coming up. Can you guess what it is? Do you know? Of course, Asuka needs to shove her out of the way because she'll figure it out. Well, here you go, Shinji. This looks like your department.
See, here we hear the guys. I heard Doug Smith in the background there. See, Ibuki's got the right idea. She just stays close to Ritsuko. And she doesn't have to do any real work. Yeah, okay. Do you want to comment on that?
No. Just that, I don't know. Maybe Maya's staying close to Ritsuko for other reasons. Huh?
She's her assistant.
Yeah. I bet she would like to give her some assistance.
Indeed. I know a lot of fanboys would like to believe otherwise. I do love this whole business with these two acting so cool and calm. And we actually see later they've got their feet in buckets, which is just an amazing thing. And then these guys...
Well, there's no air conditioning, so they're very, very hot.
I love the guys who are playing the generals in this show, because they really didn't have a whole lot to do, and this episode here was totally different. They usually are always angry and fuming, and this particular one is like, what's going on? I don't know. It's a Big Daddy Longlegs.
Yeah, it's a Daddy Longlegs Angel. Oh, that smoking is bad for you. People watching the show, you should not smoke. Smoking is bad.
On the other hand, Ritsuko's in really good shape. She's just hauling up these things.
Oh, yeah. And there's her faithful assistant, Maya, right behind her. Okay, well.
Yes. We're just going to try them all. Why not?
Maybe Ayanami will come up with a novel idea like consulting her instruction manual.
No fair. You watched this thing in advance, didn't you?
But, the true leaders do not need to consult things like manuals.
Yeah. There's been this long-running dichotomy for those wondering out there. Some people have trouble separating themselves from the characters. Initially, there was a great denial that they may have been cast because they were extremely similar to certain characters. And
it took me many years to come to terms with that, so that I may be somewhat like Asuka.
Somewhat.
Slightly.
When we started casting the show, everyone kept asking, Tiffany's going to be Asuka, right? It's going to be Tiffany, right? And I was like, no, I want to get someone who can act.
People ask me a lot about, you had to do that German dialogue, and was that hard to learn? And no, I think this looks like your department. Yay! Anyway, no, I already spoke German, so that was just very handy that she happened to be German and I could speak German, so that was handy. And, who's doing these general guys?
Scott Kilgore was the one in the center. I'm trying to remember who the other ones were.
Yeah,
I think one of them's Lou Temple.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Lou. I'm trying to remember who the third one was.
I don't know. I
have to go back and look.
Didn't recognize it right off, but that's okay.
It's been, 7-8 years since we recorded this episode?
Something like that.
Now, see, all his laundry is red.
And in plastic bags.
Mm-hmm. That's because he didn't go to laundromat. He just had it done dry cleaning. I think it's actually wrapped in tissue paper, but I'm not really sure.
I don't know. It's shiny. I think maybe he's obsessive compulsive.
I mean, he's all by himself. He's not talking. He's not giving orders. It's like, I had to kind of figure out who this character was all of a sudden, because up until that point, I was like, yes, sir! No, sir! Look out!
Well, he was talking to his imaginary shirt friends.
Yes, his shirt friends, yes.
Fairies that
It's a very
live with
important part of the Ava mythology that people at home don't know about.
Yeah.
But it was really rough because,
mystery friends.
That I had basically put myself in the part of Hugo because when we first started recording, we would have actors not show up, and we needed to keep the system running and the studio running, so I would just do those lines. And as the show kept going on, he kept getting more and more lines. It's like, what did I do to myself? I stopped doing that after that. Hugo was the one.
Sneak up on you and be a bigger character than you thought.
We actually had quite a lot of dialogue in the later episodes, and I had to go back and do it again for the director's cuts.
Yes. And wasn't that fun also?
Oh, that was loads of fun. Yep.
And that would be Kim Sear.
And I think it's Doug as the crazy driver.
That would make sense.
It's the same people over and over in the background every episode.
I love the creepy music. That music is very appropriately creepy, and you always knew that there was something ominous looming whenever they started playing that.
Yeah, especially when the lighting goes like this, and they start lighting everyone from below, something big's going to happen.
They have the ominous candles. Ooh. No matter how hot it gets, though, Ritsuko's not going to take off her lab coat.
Oh, of course not. And she's wearing a wetsuit. I mean, you would really think that would be like the first problem, would be the wetsuit, because those things are warm.
A wetsuit?
Huh? A wetsuit.
Why is she wearing a wetsuit?
She's always wearing a wetsuit.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's because she has to swim in the tank with the Ava.
Okay.
So her normal outfit is a wetsuit. Yeah. Periodically you see her.
Okay. Well, I just always looked at the lab coat.
That's why she wears the lab coat, because it's over a wetsuit. I mean, she does have some other outfits, but usually she's wearing the wetsuit.
Oh, I hear Hugo telling us stuff. Hello, we're over here. Hello.
Yeah, like I'm going to hear you. I'm driving in a car with a PA system, about a mile away. And, we'll yell. He'll hear us. Ooh, and you're in total darkness.
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
So, of course, you guys... wait a second. We saw Die Hard. We'll know what to do.
We're climbing through the things, and
I
always thought this was a really interesting scene where Shinji, in the midst of this, suddenly comes up with the idea to ask, why on earth are we fighting these angels?
I think that's kind of how it happened in reality. It was like basically someone, we haven't bothered explaining this yet, and we're almost halfway through the show. Maybe we should toss this line in somewhere. And of course nobody actually knows the answer, so...
The answer is, what are you, stupid?
Which actually may be the answer in the end.
Yeah. I think it should be the answer now, of course. Asuka
what I do find interesting about it is that, why is Rei wearing much more comfortable shoes?
I don't know. Yeah, here you go. Here's your visual confirmation. My other favorite line in this episode. She's freaking out, and then... composure.
Well, we better
Now that I visually confirmed the presence of the angel, I love that. And so, where did you just steal that car, or how did you?
Oh, yeah, it was the advertising car in the beginning of the episode, and I hijacked it. Yeah, Kim Severe's character and the driver are both still in there. It's like, okay, that's a good way to communicate.
I think that Hugo probably just always wanted to do that. Flash his badge and I'm commandeering this vehicle. Ho ho ho.
What I find interesting is the body language. It's always your character is always staying there stoically, and Rei is always like, But no, what I was saying is, note that she is, you're wearing school outfits, but she's not wearing regulation shoes. She's got the nice comfy shoes. She knew something was going to happen. That's why she's wearing the comfy shoes.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think so. I'm just saying, I think it's interesting that you're wearing the little
I just
black...
think that she has no fashion sense. That would be
But it's a school uniform. You have to wear a certain outfit for the school uniform. So why is she wearing the school
So what are they going to do? I mean, kill her? Because there's like a million more of them.
Well, yeah. See, here's those background guys actually saying something for a change.
Yeah, those are not actually lines. Oh, who is that?
Now, see, if you look, you see it's her outfit. That's a wetsuit. You've really never caught on to that after all this time that she wears a wetsuit.
I swear, okay, all the fans are going to hate me now. I knew it was something blue.
Yep, it's a wetsuit.
Well, holy cow. That totally makes sense. Well, I could just hear that in my left headphone.
What, the
cool.
clang, clang, clang? Yeah. Actually,
cool.
what we're listening to right now is not the actual mix. This is kind of rough elements.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be in 5-point glorious 1 by the time people actually hear it at home. But
nifty.
There are so many elements that had to be isolated and re-separated for the soundtrack. There's actually going to be another commentary track on this disc talking about that. These things were all recorded on a system that by today's standards is absolutely ancient and an avid audio vision. And the stuff the stuff was archived onto digital tape, but the level of the recording quality has been enhanced so much by the new mix. Poor Wade Shimwell has spent hours and hours locked up in a box.
Periodically, he comes and yells at me and tells me that I'm annoying him. No, I haven't done anything. And then he says something about Oscar being annoying, and I find that to be a very unfair critique.
But it's true.
Not.
Yes. Does the entry plug ever look like something to you?
I'm not going to comment on that.
I've always kind of wondered. Yeah.
Well, let's see. It's supposed to be like the womb. Sort of.
I always thought it looked like a tampon, but that's just me. Again, it's the whole analogy thing going on there.
Yeah. But
the whole show has a big thing with things going into other things. There's a lot of these engines that just slam into each other in order to activate. It's like it doesn't really seem to make much sense to build something that has to have giant hydraulic lifts move it just so it can make contact. But okay, it looks cool.
Or the fact that they needed to have like a plug.
I've always
not the entry plug, but the electricity, the socket.
I've always felt the show was really inspired by the old Jerry Anderson shows, which have been a big influence on anime, where, of course, the shows were done with puppets, and puppets don't walk very convincingly, so they had come up with all these ideas of how to get the puppets into the various vehicles. They always had little chairs, special chairs, and little vehicles they rode to get in and whatever, and I think that carried through into the giant robot genre. It's like, oh, well, they can't just walk into it. No, they've got to get into this plug that is then mechanically inserted. Never mind that it's ridiculously complex. It looks cool, so.
I was going to say about the previous scene that it was very interesting how you had seen the 3 children climbing on their bellies through the corridor, and then right afterwards, of course, you see the 3 Avas doing the same thing. And now we have a big owie. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Oops, dropped my gun.
Obviously, very good friction grip there on Ava 1. That's, what did you say? Probably about 300-400 tons?
A lot.
Because, Ava 2 is fat. But,
no. Ava 2 is just the best. Maybe we need to get that straight.
I mean fat in the, the street term of fat.
Oh, the pH? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way.
It's an interesting acid, too. Like, when you first hit some, it's like burning really big, and then it's like, oh, we can handle a little bit of it.
Yeah. So we're going to beat it, of course.
I like how the Avas are looking over their shoulders and the close-ups. Those are real nice.
It's funny how the Avas will mimic what the pilot is doing.
They're just in a little huddle here. That's great.
1, 2, 3, hike!
Just Ava 4, just always, Ava 4, Ava 2 always looks like it's just kind of like confused to me because it's got the 4 eyes and they're never actually looking in the same direction.
Well, that's prudent that they're not looking in the same direction. It's more of a defensive position, I think.
Yeah, is that what that is?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And of course, Asuka is coming up with the whole plan here to save everyone's butt.
Yeah, and it almost makes sense, and fortunately the others are competent enough to carry it off, even if it's nuts.
One thing I always like about Asuka is her confidence. You know, it's like once she sets her mind to it, she just always knows that she can do it, no matter what it is. Okay, this big daddy long legs thing is going to spew acid on me, but I can handle that. This is the plan. And they're doing...
Toss the gun up.
Yeah.
Okay, bangity bang bang bang.
Bang, bang, bang. Awesome.
Now, it'd be really funny if this thing turned out to have a gelatinous body, just falls in the tube, fits it exactly, but then the series would be over, so, oh well.
Yeah, it would be too soon for it to be over. Poor Kaji.
It's especially bad when she's talking about having to go to the bathroom.
And of course, the doors will open and find them in a compromising position.
This is super high tech, and the elevators actually, as they go forward, the gear actually turns in. What is going on with that? It's like LED readouts aren't good enough. No, apparently, I mean everything shuts down without the power. Wow, isn't it great? We're having this long conversation over a pan over artwork, so we have no lips.
No lip flaps. That's the best ever.
That's what I say. Oh,
there we are. You see us way down there. That's right. And now the electricity's coming back on.
Personally, I would think it'd be real convenient, comfortable lying out in the plug suits. I never thought the plug suits looked very comfortable. But
I don't know. My plug suit's pretty comfortable, but it's made out of cotton lycra.
Yeah, I mean, the plug suits...
Hers is probably not.
No, it's. I think it's some kind of vinyl or something. It's got to be waterproof. Oh, look, the episode's over.
Oh, no. No, now we have to listen to Megumi sing Fly Me to the Moon, or whoever's singing it this episode. Oh. How many versions? That would be a good trivia question. One that I do not know the answer to.
I'm not really sure. I know just about everybody in the cast got to sing it. I think
Miyamoo did. Miyamoo sang it. I think it was a Dance Like You Want to Win episode that she sang it at the end.
Yeah.
She had a really cute little I love you at the end. Yay, Miyamoo.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure I'd use the word cute, but okay. After hearing it about 75 times, it kind of gives you a little tick. But,
I was driving along the other day and I heard Frank Sinatra's version on the radio, and I can't hear...
How did he do this?
I can't hear any version of this song without thinking of Ava. I mean, it's just impossible for me anymore.
I didn't know he did a cover of it. That's surprising.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it just? Well, thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.